morning. We were waiting for each other. Teamwork is great. It's Monday morning with Merle and Patti.
Yay, everybody.
Yay.
So this is Patti Negri of pattinegri.com and a million other things. Find her on Facebook everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This is Merle M. Singer, relationshipmiracleworker.com. And I'm either Merle Singer or Merle M. Singer on all the same places. So we got to learn to do that each time.
Yeah. And we're really smooth at it, too. Thank you for joining us, our regular Monday morning broadcast where we talk all things relationships, love, finding love, helping love, things along the way. And today we are going to talk about questions to ask before you get too serious, right?
Yes. I think that's what we advertised.
It was seconds ago, so hard to remember.
Yes. What should you talk about to this person that you may be getting serious with? That's I think the question. But I wanted to straighten out some things or add some things from last week. Should I do it at the end?
No, do it now.
Okay. So last week we talked about how much you should talk, how personal you should get. Talk about the past with your current love. Sex. And it brought up some things with different people. What with the Kavanaugh hearings going on at the same time, I had two people in my life. One is a young woman who was traumatized by all the talk about past indiscretions or sexual abuse, and that she had talked about sexual abuse that she had never talked about before, and how she was so traumatized that she we're moving. I'm sorry,
Making room for the cat.
Yes. No, the cat doesn't want to show herself to you. She just wants to be in
our face.
Exactly. Anyway, she was unable to work, and she was so traumatized. And fortunately, things have calmed down for her. But the other more surprising thing was a young man in my life, important to our family, said, what about Me Too for men? That he had been abused a couple of times, I'm sorry, as a young person, and to cap it off, as an adult, he had been accused of sexual abuse by a woman. So he's really feeling like victimized from both sides. I don't have answers to that. I have millions of things that I don't have answers to. I just want to acknowledge to both of those people that sexual abuse either way, being accused when it's not true, having sexual abuse as a man or a woman by whomever isn't okay. I can't say I feel your pain. I can say I support you, I care about you, and I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
I just needed to get that out.
Yeah, because it's interesting how much stuff is getting raised up with everything going on in the press, which in the long run I think is really good because you don't want it buried inside forever. But we have to have a little bit gentleness of heart right now, a little more understanding with just the craziness going on.
Yes. So I think that's important.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we go on to, we're we're in the midst of a relationship. What are some of the things that we should kind of get straight before we get too far into this relationship? And actually, I talked to Nathan about it, and he had some good ideas, not all of which I remember. But it is true. It actually was on our first date that we both shared things that were important to us. And Nathan said, he said two things: love me, love my motorcycle, because he was doing his motorcycle then, and I want my kids. If I can get my kids, then that's what I want. And I said to him, I said, that's fine with me. It can't be a taffy pull. It's not, kids are not something that parents negotiate about. It has to be what's good for the kids. So we got that straight right away. Are there other things what do you think, Patty?
I think, again, since I'm an energy worker, I take it down to energy. Sometimes people are kind of the same and that really works for them. Sometimes, like we were talking about this morning, people are very opposite and that works for them. But what seems to get in trouble is when the drive or the goals are different within a relationship. Like, you know, your day off that you have together, one just wants to relax and want their partner to relax with them, and the other one, let's go climb a mountain, let's go do this, let's start a podcast, let's do this, let's do that. So neither is living up into the other's expectations. If they're willing to deal with their thing on their own, that is fine. But if you're expecting your other person to have your energy level, your goal level, your drive level, that has to be discussed, because it's talk about taffy pull. It's a different kind of taffy pull. Yes, big time.
Right. Exactly right. Which brings out a whole other thing. It is, I mean, some people's vision of marriage is that we do everything together. And some people's vision of marriage is that we support whatever, we just care about each other. We don't have to do everything together. Certainly, Patty and I are good examples of not necessarily doing everything together, but both our spouses support us in our interests, and likewise, we do with them. And there was something else that just went right through my head. Boom! It's just so amazing.
So yeah, what things work for you or not find to work for you? Again, when you're first dating, that's when you're discovering all this stuff. But if you haven't discovered everything and you're thinking of getting serious in any form, whether living together or going next step marriage or just that kind of commitment, that's the stuff. Figure out the red flags when they come up too. Where there's always that same disagreement or argument, or this person wants this and this person wants that, and things that don't, those are red flags.
Some, and there's some things that people like to do together, and some things that my adopted niece was saying that she enjoyed this guy that she's dating because they both enjoy plays. She hasn't, in other dates and situations, she hasn't found that somebody that she could share that interest in. And they went to a play and they enjoyed it. They talked about it. So that it's not like everything. They don't have to do everything the same and together. But there's that one thing that they share. So I think that's kind of important. There's certain shows that I watch with Nathan. The rest, he's on his own.
Yeah, we have a nice balance too. We're both very, very independent women. So I think that independency is something to look at too, of what the goals are in a person. Some people really need that to be needed, to be wanted, to be... That would drive me insane, really. Like Merle was saying, we want to come together and do things together. I just helped my husband produce this huge drum show this weekend. We've been doing that together for literally 20 years. Now, I probably won't see him for the next 2 weeks because I'm off doing my own thing, 'tis the season, filming and private clients and seances and everything that goes together. But it's okay, because when we come together, and our separate thing, he'll be doing whatever it is he does. What did Raymond Ortiz, just like the universe is controlled by negative and positive furies, the furies can be out of balance. Bringing balance and stability to a relationship can be difficult sometimes. Truer words never said.
So I think it was last Monday or the Monday before, I moderated a panel at a Temecula business event. And it was a panel of what they call power couples. And there were 3 different couples, and they each were the definition of power couples in that they both worked and had interests together. There was one couple that I thought was but they were all interesting, and they were all extremely verbal, and I really enjoyed myself. Please, Kat, that's not good.
The cat's knocking over the camera.
And but this one couple got married very young. She was like 18 or 19, and the husband was like 27 or something. So he was into a career. That relationship was her supporting him in his career and raising 3 kids. Then, 20 years goes by, 18 years, whatever, the kids are on their own, and she says, there's not much with the kids, and you don't need all my support. I want to do something. So she did do something. She ended up, I think she started teaching, and she is the head of an academy, or she has a prestigious, good job that takes time. And the husband said, I had to adjust. I was so used to her being supporting into my career and counting on that energy into my career that I had now to respect her interests and share all her time with her career. And it was an effort. I applaud him that he could see it and work it through. But so, and what does that say? That says that no matter what you talk about before you get connected or married or however you decide to do that, there's still going to be things that come up as you go along that you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, because if things shift, you're not staying the same, more than likely. Your partner's not staying the same, more than likely. So don't get too set in your ways.
Yeah. So that's my conclusion. Thank you, Suzanne.
Have we said everything there is to say on the subject?
No, but enough.
Okay. So join us next week. Now as we're getting into All Hallows season when the veil is the thinnest. Next week, we're going to talk about going into my world and hers of energy. How to trust your intuition when you're with something. Does something feel a little off? Maybe it is a little off. And how to tell the difference in your real intuition or your gut instinct versus your fear or bringing other relationships, thought patterns into something. Learning to tell the difference in that and then trusting what that intuition is when you're, again, like little baby red flags or opposite of red flags, pink hearts are coming in. And are you fighting the pink hearts just as much as you fight the little red flags? Because that's even scarier.
Yes.
So that's what next week's going to be about.
It is.
And then we'll hold the next week after that, which is a spicy one for later. PattiNegri.com, PattiNegri.com. From there you can find my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, my Patti Negri Psychic Medium page, my YouTube page. Sign up for my newsletter because I send once a month. I try to, whether I need to or not, just fun little tips and things. And would love to have you sign up or like me or friend me. Or you can't friend me on Patti Negri, but you could follow me on Patti Negri and like me on Patti Negri Psychic Medium. And you
are Merle M. Singer. You can find me at relationshipmiracleworker.com. Sign up there. And don't forget, cracking the relationship code. It may look backwards to you, but it's not backwards. You'll learn really straightforward advice.
Thank you for joining us. Come back next Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time for Monday Morning with Merle and Patti. Bye.